Hello, bonjour. My name is Anslie Markle, and this is Michel Legrand and his impact on La Nouvelle Vague and French film. So, La Nouvelle Vague, which translates to the French New Wave, was a French film movement that lasted from the late 50s to the mid 1960s. And it was where directors and filmmakers really rebelled against traditional Hollywood conventions and norms like a static eye level camera and editing with continuity and seamlessness in mind to really new techniques like a point of view camera angle, like you can see in the top two pictures where Agnes Barta uses a handheld camera and shows herself in the film. They also use jump cuts where they cut from scene to scene very quickly and harshly, which was another new idea. And then it was something that lasted really beyond the 1960s. It forever changed French film. And you can see in the 1981 film Diva in the bottom two photos where they really emphasize lighting and blue lighting in particular and how that changed the mood of the film. Michel Legrand was born in 1932 and he died just over 3 years ago at age 86. He was born to a very musically talented family and studied under a famous pianist at the Conservatoire de Paris. And he really became fascinated with jazz, but worked with and composed a variety of genres. And in this quote here, you can see that he really wanted to touch every aspect of music, and he wanted to contribute something to all areas of music. And he returned to Paris later in his life and began composing film scores. One of the directors that Legrand worked with a few times is Jacques Demy. They worked together on Lola and Bay of Angels, but their breakthrough film together was The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. It was a very unique musical. It is that top photo there on your right. It was unique because the entire dialogue was sung. There was no spoken dialogue. So the music throughout the whole film was continuous, and the music played an incredibly important part to the story because any verbal interactions that the characters had were through song. And one of the more famous songs to come out of that film was Je ne pourrai jamais vivre sans toi, which means I cannot live without you. And it was nominated for an Oscar and covered in English by famous artists like Frank Sinatra. And then they also worked together on The Young Girls of Rochefort, which was a pretty similar style musical, but there was spoken dialogue as well as musical and dance numbers as well. And both of these scores earned his first Academy Award nominations. Legrand also worked with the wife of Jacques Demy, Agnes Barta, another very talented director at the time, and on her breakthrough film Cleo from 5 to 7. The film really plays with diegetic and non-diegetic music. Diegetic music is sounds that the characters and the audience, the viewers can hear, such as noises that the characters make or music that they are playing themselves, and non-diegetic music being that which only the audience can hear, such as the soundtrack. So having both of those in the film and playing with both of them really changes how the audience interacts with the film itself. And the music that Legrand wrote really follows and parallels the feelings that Cleo feels throughout her character change in the movie. She changes a lot throughout the 2 hours, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., changes how she looks at herself and her self-worth, and so the music changes according to her feelings, the tone and the style of it. If she is sad and expressing a lot of the emotion, then the music reflects that, and it's very interesting. Legrand also worked with JeanLuc Godard on his films A Woman is a Woman, Vivre sa vie, and A Band of Outsiders. I'm mainly going to focus on A Woman is a Woman today. It was Godard's first real film, as he called it. It was a neo-realist musical. It really focused on real life, real people. The actors wore their own clothes, and it was set on a very normal location for the type of people, the common people. And then it was also filmed with direct sound, so at some points in the film you can hear the film crew in the background of the film. And Godard really liked to experiment. He had kind of some crazy films, and with this one he experimented with sound and the overlapping of of the music, like the instruments, as well as the sung lyrics and spoken lyrics. So at some points during it, the instrumental music would cut off, and then you would only hear the characters singing, and it would resume when the characters were done singing. And then at some points it overlapped. And so it was just very interesting, again, kind of a new way of thinking of music and going about this process, that was very much attributed to the French New Wave. Michel Legrand had a huge impact on French film and music in French film. He composed for over 200 films and shows. So not only that, but he also won many awards for his soundtracks as well. And from the French films that I've seen, it's very apparent to me that after his time, or in his films and then after as well, the music is just much more a part of the film itself. It's more important, and it is definitely something that contributes a lot more to the story, and that the story wouldn't be the same without the music as well. And from this quote, you can really see how he thinks that composing for films is incredibly important, and it's not something to be looked over. Lastly, here are the sources that I used, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much.